Stop everything you are doing right now. Because what Seth Rollins just did to Gunther is not just a WWE moment, it is a crime scene. And if you are not furious, if your blood is not boiling, if your jaw is not on the floor right now, then you clearly did not see what happened. Because what Seth Rollins unleashed on Gunther was not a wrestling match, it was not a rivalry, it was not competition, it was an execution. Cold, calculated, merciless. And the entire WWE universe is sitting in stunned silence wondering if the ring general will ever be the same again. Comment right now, are you angry? Because you should be. Share this video immediately because every single WWE fan needs to see this breakdown before WWE tries to sweep it under the rug. This is too big. This is too serious. And I am not letting this go. Let's go back to the moment it happened. Gunther, the most dominant, most physically imposing, most technically gifted superstar on the entire WWE roster, was standing tall. The ring general who has made careers look like footnotes. The man who turned every championship reign into a statement. The man who hits you with a chop so brutal that the sound alone makes the audience flinch. That Gunther, that man, was just dismantled by Seth Rollins in the most savage, most devastating, most absolutely unhinged attack this industry has ever witnessed. And I don't use those words lightly. I have been covering this business for years right here on Ringrumble 1 and I have never, not once, described anything the way I am about to describe what Seth Rollins did. Because this wasn't a beatdown. Beatdowns end. People recover from beatdowns. What Seth Rollins did to Gunther went so far beyond a beatdown that we need a new word for it. This was erasure. Seth Rollins tried to erase Gunther. Tried to end him. Tried to send a message so loud, so violent, so irreversible that nobody in that locker room, nobody in that arena, nobody watching at home, would ever forget it. And here's what makes it even more infuriating. Seth Rollins smiled. He stood over Gunther's broken body and he smiled. Like this was a game. Like Gunther's career potentially being on the line was funny to him. Like the ring general crumpled on that canvas was the funniest thing Seth had ever seen. This is the Seth Rollins that people forget exists. Because everyone loves the visionary. Everyone cheers the architect. Everyone sings along with the entrance and loses their mind when he hits that curb stomp. But this version of Seth Rollins, the one who turns off all the charm and all the charisma and replaces it with pure ice-cold savagery, this version is the most dangerous human being in professional wrestling. And Gunther just became proof of that. Now let's talk about what this means. Because this is not just a physical attack. This is a chess move. Seth Rollins does not do anything without reason. He is too smart, too calculated, too obsessively strategic to just walk up to Gunther and unload for no reason. Every single thing Seth Rollins does has a purpose. Every promo, every match, every backstage interaction, it all feeds into a larger plan. And the plan here, the plan is terrifyingly clear. Seth Rollins wants to be the most feared, most respected, most dominant superstar heading into whatever comes next. And to do that, you don't just beat the competition. You break the competition. You make an example out of the biggest, most intimidating name available. And right now, in WWE, there is no name bigger and more intimidating than Gunther. So Seth Rollins picked the biggest target on the roster. He lined up his shot. And he fired with everything he had. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Did Seth Rollins just make himself the most dangerous man in WWE? I need to hear from you because this conversation is necessary. Here is the part that is keeping me up at night though. Gunther's career is genuinely at risk. I want everyone to let that sink in for a second. We are not talking about Gunther missing a pay-per-view. We are not talking about Gunther losing a title shot. We are talking about the possibility, the very real, very serious possibility, that the ring general may not be the same superstar ever again. The damage that was done is that significant. The way Seth Rollins targeted him, the way he focused on specific areas with a precision that was almost clinical, this was not rage. This was not emotion. This was a man who sat down, came up with a plan, and executed it perfectly. And that is the scariest thing about all of this. Because you can prepare for a fighter who comes at you with emotion. You can exploit passion. You can use someone's anger against them. But how do you defend against someone who feels nothing? How do you game plan for a man who approaches destroying your career the same way a surgeon approaches an operation? Calmly, precisely, without hesitation. That is what Seth Rollins was on this day. A surgeon. And Gunther was on the operating table. And the locker room knows it. You think the rest of that roster didn't watch what happened with wide eyes? You think they aren't looking at each other right now, quietly, nervously, wondering if they're next? Seth Rollins just sent a message to every single name on that roster, and the message was simple. I will do this to anyone. I will do this to you. Get in my way, and what happened to Gunther will look like a warm-up. Now here is where I need you to share this video. Right now, pause, share it with every WWE fan you know, because what I am about to say next is the part that nobody is discussing. Everyone is talking about the attack itself. The images, the replays, the sheer violence of it. But nobody is asking the most important question: why now? Why did Seth Rollins choose this moment to do this to Gunther? What is the timing telling us? Think about the landscape of WWE right now. Think about what is on the horizon. Think about who is positioned where and what titles are at stake and what matches are being built. Seth Rollins destroying Gunther at this specific moment in time is not random. It is a power grab. It is Seth Rollins planting his flag and screaming at the top of his lungs that he is here, he is ready, and he is not waiting for anyone to hand him an opportunity. He is taking his opportunity. By any means necessary. Gunther was a roadblock. Gunther was the mountain standing between Seth Rollins and where he wants to go. And Seth Rollins did not try to climb the mountain. He did not try to go around it. He demolished it. He removed the obstacle entirely. And now the path is wide open, and Seth Rollins is standing at the start of it with that terrifying smile on his face. Let me paint the picture even more clearly, because I think people are underselling just how significant Gunther's standing in WWE was before this attack. This is not some mid-card superstar who got made an example of. This is the ring general. This is a man who held the Intercontinental Championship in one of the most dominant reigns in the history of that title. This is a man who headlined premium live events and made every single opponent look like they were fighting at a completely different level. Gunther brought a seriousness and a legitimacy to everything he touched that WWE has been desperately searching for over the last decade. He was the measuring stick. He was the standard. And Seth Rollins just snapped that measuring stick in half. Do you understand the statement that makes? Do you understand how loudly that echoes through the entire WWE roster? Seth Rollins just looked at the standard, the literal standard of WWE excellence, and he destroyed it. He is not measuring himself against the standard anymore. He is the standard now. And he made sure everyone understands that by making the most undeniable example imaginable. This is the moment people will look back on. This is the turning point. WWE has these moments every few years where one singular act shifts the entire power structure of the company. Steve Austin stunning Vince. The Shield's debut. Roman Reigns turning heel. These are the moments that change everything. And Seth Rollins destroying Gunther. Gunther's career being put at risk. This is one of those moments. Mark my words right now on Ring Rumble 1. Write it down. Screenshot this video. This is a turning point moment. Now the question on everyone's lips. What happens next? Does WWE hold Seth Rollins accountable? Does someone step up to avenge Gunther? Is there a superstar brave enough, or reckless enough, to look Seth Rollins in the eye after what he just did and say, "You're next on my list"? Because that person is going to need nerves of absolute steel. That person is going to need to be built differently. Because Seth Rollins is not just physically dangerous right now, he is mentally dangerous. He has proven he will go to any length, any extreme. He has no ceiling on what he is willing to do. And Gunther, the ring general, is left picking up pieces, wondering if those pieces can ever be put back together. That is the reality WWE is sitting with right now. That is the uncomfortable, infuriating, gut-wrenching reality. I am furious about this. And if you love Gunther, if you respect what the ring general has built in WWE, you should be furious too. Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button if this video lit a fire in you. Share it because this conversation needs to happen at the highest volume possible. Seth Rollins just changed WWE forever. And the damage he left behind has a name, Gunther. And right now, Nobody knows if the ring general is coming back from this. Ring Rumble 1. We are watching. And we are not done talking about this.